up, we've got some bold words from Khamzat Chimaev that's stirring up the MMA community. He's put out an incredible challenge, offering 1 million rubles, that's about 1,000 USD, to anyone who can submit him during training. In his own confident words, he declared, "Anyone who submits me during training gets 1 million rubles from me. It hasn't happened in a long time. When I'm fooling around with young guys, I give up my neck. But when we have a serious grappling match, I offer 1 million rubles to anyone. Let them come to the gym and try." What makes this even more interesting is that both Renato Moano and Gilbert Burns have stepped up, expressing their confidence in being able to submit Khamzat.
Khamzat Chimaev offered a million to anyone who can submit him in the gym.
Let's go with that, brother.
100%, my brother. Easy money.
You think you can submit him for millions on the line, bro?
100%, brother.
What about you, Gilbert?
For sure, bro. Send me location, bro. Where's he at? Where's he at? He's in Abu Dhabi.
He's in Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai.
No taxes, brother.
Bro, hey. How much that try? Let's go, brother. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think it's just everybody gets submit on training.
He said he never had. Well, he said he has like messing around, but like not for real.
But with who? You know, that's the thing. Like,
yeah,
with the couple high level fighters, if you really in I don't know, training high level grapplers with high level guys, and that's gonna happen. You know, it might not happen very often, but it should happen if the guys that you're training are on the highest level. Like if we get all the guys on ATT training with Moicano, Gan Raw, Dustin Poirier, so everybody, and like good jiu-jitsu guys, one day you might get caught, you know.
Yeah.
But if you're just training with certain guys, yeah. But I think if you're in the highest level of training, yeah, you're gonna get.
Speaking of training footage, there's some fascinating news from Jason Perillo's gym. He just released footage today showing Chito Vera sparring with Arman Sarukian. Let's talk about some drama that's unfolding between Sean Strickland and his coach. Kamaru Usman has weighed in on what he sees as a concerning disconnect between Sean and his coach, Eric Nixick. This comes after Sean's loss to Dricus Du Plessis, where Eric made some pretty harsh comments. He suggested Sean should really think about his commitment to MMA, saying he's only interested in coaching world champions, not fighters who are just in it for the money. Usman has stepped in to defend Sean, pointing out something we all know. At the end of the day, every fighter needs to make a living.
At the end of the day, it's Sean Strickland that's stepping inside that octagon, risking his life each and every time. So it's a little unfair. I understand what Eric Nixick is trying to say. He's a coach now, and as a coach and as a motivator, you want your athletes to respond and actually take it in and run with it. But it's a little unfair because you don't know what you feel in there unless you're in there. You could have a best training camp and say, yes, I'm going in there, I'm gonna crush this guy. But once you get in there, you don't know what your spirit is feeling that day. And sometimes you just can't evoke that spirit that you need to go out there and accomplish the task. And so it's a little unfair to say, well, I don't know if he wants to make money. You know what? We all want to make money. Nobody wants to fight for free. I mean, some people might want to fight for free, but that's just dumb. You know, at the end of the day, we all want to make money. I guarantee you, of course, Sean Strickland wants to make money. That's partially why he is in. But listen, it's a little unfair to say that I don't know where he stands. By Eric Nixick saying that is showing me that there's a disconnect in the relationship between Sean Strickland and the gym, and Sean Strickland and himself.
Moving on to some upcoming action. Calvin Kattar is preparing for a crucial fight this weekend at UFC Vegas 102 against Youssef Zalal. I've got to be honest, Kattar's been going through a tough stretch, with just one win in his last 5 fights. His last appearance ended in a unanimous decision loss to Aljamain Sterling. On the flip side, Zalal is riding high on an impressive 6-fight winning streak, but don't count Kattar out. He's showing incredible determination and confidence, ready to prove he still belongs among the elite.
To be back, Apex again, and yeah, things are good, feeling great, ready to go. Biggest takeaways are just always just how to improve every day, you know, win or lose, ideally off wins, but never stop learning and be a student of the game, and excited to have another opportunity to just go out and compete on Saturday night. Really just stay in the moment, like you said, on to the next one, win or lose. So just can't get high with the highs or low with the lows, stay even keel, and I'm expecting a good performance on Saturday. Obviously fighting a tough fighter and planning to just go out and do what I can, deliver in the most exciting fashion possible. Yeah, every fight is tough, exciting. To go 4-0 in the UFC is not an easy task, so he's definitely deserving of a test at top 15. And I just got to go and prove why I belong still competing with the best guys in the division and at the top of the ranking. So we both got someone to prove come Saturday night, and I think that makes for the best fights.
Now, here's some emotional news that really hits home. Dominick Cruz has opened up about the injury that not only forced him out of his upcoming fight with Rob Font, but ultimately led to his retirement from MMA. It's heartbreaking to hear how he dislocated his shoulder twice in just 8 months. The second time was so devastating that it completely changed his perspective on his fighting career, leading to his decision to step away from the sport.
I was doing some groundwork, and it was a basic thing I've done a million times. You're on your back from half guard and you get up on your elbow, and then you reach to a single and you use your elbow to get up. And when you put posts on the ground like that with somebody on top of your head, and I just pretty much it just shot out the back the second I put my elbow down and went to pull in that single leg. And the difference with this one from the first one was the first one was only out for like maybe 3 minutes. It was a nice quick slide back in. Shout out to Tim Roberts and Lauda and everybody at the UFC PI here in Mexico City. They were able to pull my shoulder right into place pretty quick. That was excruciating pain, but it was so quick. Whereas the second one, they went to pull it in and it did not go back. It just stayed where it was at. And all the muscles locked it down on top of the nerve. And for about an hour and a half, from driving to traffic to the hospital, to getting to the hospital, and then needing to get an x-ray, because it's not like the movies where you just slide a shoulder back in every time. It doesn't always work that way. So the second time it didn't work that way. When they went to slide it in, it was sitting very particularly. So they have to do an x-ray to see how to pull it back in, what direction to yank your arm when they reset it. Because if you pinch certain nerves, then it can shut the whole arm off, and it's just really damaging. So I'm in the hospital for an hour, 15 minutes. My arm starts turning blue. And when I see my fingers turning blue and just things being weird and the pain was excruciating, it just gave a different perspective for me. I always say I deserve this kind of pain. And the reason is because that's the only way I learn. So this was enough pain to teach me something and get me to kind of like say, okay.
On a more inspiring note, Henry Cejudo is making what he calls his final push for glory. He's preparing for a crucial fight against Song Yadong at UFC Seattle next week, but his ultimate goal is crystal clear. He wants another shot at Merab Dvalishvili. After losing to Merab by unanimous decision last year, Henry's burning for redemption. Speaking to EmmaFighting.com, he shared his passionate perspective. 100% going for the title. That's what it's always about. If it wasn't about that, for sure I wouldn't be fighting. This is the last run I'm making, this last push, this last hurrah over here. Henry opened up about the realities of being a former champion, explaining, "I just turned 38. Age is not a factor in it either. It's my performances. Am I able to display my art inside of the octagon in front of 25,000 people? That's where it gets real for me. Once you're not a champion, and this is where champions get spoiled, we get a chance to talk and negotiate with not just purse, but with fighters. This is who I want. This is what I think. But when you're not the champion, you've got to take what they give you, and you can also refuse not to fight. You can also get shelved." He continued, sharing his thoughts on his upcoming opponent. "I think for me, I personally like this stylistic matchup with Song. I think he's powerful. I think he's really good. I think he's explosive. He's a counterpuncher. But I also see deficiencies, and I'm looking to expose that on February 22nd. In another exciting matchup, Jared Cannonier is getting ready to face RoboCop in tomorrow's main event at UFC Vegas 102. After 2 tough losses, Cannonier's determined to turn things around and catch the UFC matchmaker's attention with a strong performance.
Good, nice, fresh, getting prepared from camp and ready to perform. Losing is not fun, but what more can you do? you heal up. You know, I broke my arm in that last fight, so heal up and try to get back to training and getting better and righting those awful wrongs as soon as possible. Well, like you said, we're on the spotlight right now, so I think it would put my name in the good graces of the matchmakers, the media, and the fans.
In lighter news, Alex Pereira shared some entertaining footage from his time in South Korea a few months back. There's this amazing moment where he lands a left hook to someone's body, and even Alex himself was impressed by how well the person took the shot. Now let me take a quick moment to tell you about our amazing sponsor, Raycon. These earbuds are truly game-changing. They're not just affordable, they deliver top-quality sound that any audio enthusiast would love. Whether you're hitting the gym, working, or taking calls, Raycon's everyday earbuds are your perfect companion. With thousands of 5-star reviews backing them up, their latest model is absolutely incredible. You get a massive 32-hour battery life and the ability to connect to 2 devices at once. What really sets them apart is their active noise cancellation, a feature usually reserved for premium brands, but Raycon offers it at half the price. Plus, they come with a protective case cover, and the design is simply stunning.
100%. No problem. For 10%. Hands up, hands up. Shot. One more. Number one. Now, number one. 한번 가야지. Number one. No problem.
And here's something that's got fight fans buzzing. Ilia Topuria has expressed serious interest in facing Dustin Poirier. While we're hearing rumors about Ilia defending his featherweight title against Alexander Volkanovski at UFC 314, he's made it clear he sees lightweight in his future. Listen to what he said on the Full Send podcast. You can hear the excitement in his voice. Just imagine a fight between me and I love that dog, Dustin Poirier. He's a fighter, you know what I mean? You know that he goes in and he fights until he dies. You're going to have that guy in front of you fighting and trying to take your head off. That's a very exciting fight, I think for me, and I think for the fans also. And that brings us to the end of today's news. If you want to stay up to date with everything happening in the world of MMA, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Now, let me share some of the most engaging comments from our last video. First up, we've got this thought-provoking take. Everyone is so sensitive. Dean Thomas and Eric Nixick spoke their opinions and saying what everyone was thinking about Sean's performance. Then Scott Johnson chimed in with this zinger. Strickland takes streamers to the death, but not actual fighters. And finally, Tony Ramos gave us this classic reference. CCC out there reaching for grapes, trying to make his wine, but the wine already sounding like a violin with the cheese and wine. Shout out Tito. Want to see your comment featured in our next video? Just drop your thoughts down below. And hey, if you missed yesterday's news, don't worry. Just click the video on screen right now to get caught up on everything you need to know. Thanks for being here, and I'll catch you in the next one with more exciting MMA news and updates.